Hello YouTube, this is CypherSnake89 back once again for another retrospective. And before I begin, I would like to give special thanks to my good buddy Kendo Wolf 1 who supplied some of the materials for this retrospective review. So the last time I did this, it was the focusing on Beyblade, the original versus Burst. And today, I'm doing a retrospective review on Bakugan. What it was, what it is now, and why the reboot, in my opinion, is absolutely horrible. So, let's get down to it. In the original Bakugan Battle Brawlers, there's the toy game and the animated series, both supported by company Spin Master, came out first. Well, they came out together. The premise of the game was simple. So, you set down magnetic gate cards in formation or linking together that they had to touch in some form or fashion. And then you rolled these little rolled up orbs, of which there were 6 different tribes or clans, and if one stood, they were ready to brawl. If 2 stood, and they were opponents, they battled it out. The gate cards opened, and the Bakugan got power bonuses depending on their affiliation and type. Plus, there were gate cards that had special win conditions. In addition to this, oh wait, I'm jumping the gun again. But if both Bakugan were from the same player, they won that gate card. Win 3 gate cards, you win! So the premise is pretty simple, right? I'll talk a little bit over the aesthetics of the game, because you could, in the lineup, you could only have, I'm just using this as an example, 1 silver card, gate card, 1 bronze gate card, and 1 gold gate card. But you could have any Bakugan you chose, because back in those days the game was just about type affiliation and which bit power was the strongest. So, let's see. There we go. And these always had them printed out. See, look at that detail. You can see, can you see the little numbers back there? That was its G power. And all these Bakugans could fold back up. In addition to the gate cards, a player was allowed to use a limit set of 3 ability cards. Once an ability card was used, it was put to a discard pile, and it couldn't be used again for the rest of that game. Now, the series went on through several seasons. First, the Bakugan were on Earth, and they were part of their own planet. They came to Earth through the little spheres, kind of like the monsters in Future Card Buddy Fight, but they only took on their fully animated monster forms when they actually were in battle. Otherwise, they just unfolded and were able to talk to the characters that owned them from their little toy forms. I thought it was neato. And there was a season where they modified the Bakugans to flip open, and you see the little pegs on the Pyrus one? they actually could combine with larger vehicles called battle gears, and they could get even stronger. It was a nifty little thing, but eventually it died out, and the Bakugan of Vestroia, Pyrus, Chaos, Subterra, Aquas, Ventus, and Darkus were forgotten. Fast forward to 2018, and the game was reignited. We got Bakugan Battle Planet. But oh my gosh, they messed up. How did they mess up? They put too many aesthetics into the game. Number one, you had to choose a team of 3 Bakugan that had compatible symbols that went with your Bakukors. So instead of big magnetic cards, they used these tiny little magnetic hexagons called Bakukors. And they all had to fit together. 6 from you and 6 from your opponent. Yeah, 3 Bakugan, but only 6 Bakukors, because they're so tiny. And you had to have a setup of a 40 card deck. This is just a starter pack's worth of 3. But you had to have 40 cards for 1, storing up energy to cast the ability cards. You know this little lightning bolt? That's their ability. Number 2, it was for damage. See, whenever a Bakugan... Focus. There. When a Bakugan won a brawl, that damage meant how many cards the opponent put from the top of their deck into the discard pile. Also, you don't think it's convoluted enough yet? They also had a hand, and they could draw and charge their energy each turn. But here's the really crazy bit. Each turn they rolled, if they didn't stand up, then it was up to their opponent. If yours didn't stand, your opponent's did, you would take damage. If neither of them stood, it was a draw, and you go on to the next one. And you roll. When one of them actually popped, like my Ventus Serpentis here, now he rolled over 2 Bakukors, so he gets the bonuses of both. Because he is an attack type, he gets +2 and +1 to his damage stats, so his total damage becomes 5, and +50 to his already extensive 600. There it goes. He was... So if he wins, that much damage goes to my opponent. And then he stayed standing up. The hexagons, they remain standing unless there are too few, in which case you have to realign them. Kind of like how in the original Battle Brawlers you could resend gate cards if you had some to spare and they weren't ones you've already won. So the game continues, and if you manage to get all 3 of your Bakugan standing, or your opponent ran out of deck first, you won. Confusing, isn't it? Yes, the little symbols here, they're no longer affiliated. They are still affiliated by clan types. You see this particular one for Pyrus or Chaos. the bit power increases by 400 for defense type Bakugan. So if Serpenteze had landed on that, nothing would have happened because he's a pure attack type. But my Chaos Nihilus would have gotten the power bonus because he's the defender and he's a Chaos type. So his 400 would have become 800. I know, it's so confusing. So, and the funny thing is, they designed a new game for young kids and early teens. But it has so much to take a hold of. There's way too much thought. It's like battle brawlers. 3 Bakugan, 3 gate cards, 3 ability cards. 1 ability card per battle. You stand, double stand, or win a gate card. Win a brawl on a gate card, you win that gate card. You win 3 gate cards, you win. This one, you got a massive deck. You've got a limited team. You've got to how to combine your Baku cores. You got to charge your energy. You got how to take your damage. You got to calculate this, and you can only take the powers from certain Baku cores if your Bakugan on aligns with them. And if you get all 3 Bakugan standing, then you win. Or if you have 2 Bakugan standing and one folded, but your opponent has run out of deck and they can't take damage or draw, they lose. I don't know what Spin Master was thinking personally. Now, this is just my personal opinion. But in my opinion, the simplified rules of Bakugan Battle Brawlers and later on Vestroya was simpler. Battle Planet and Resurgence is way too complicated. But if you're a master of Future Card Buddy Fight and you like Bakugan, you may be able to grip these rules. But personally, there is no comparison. This is a game for little kids. This one, not so much. Gotta use your brains. So that is my retrospective on the evolution of Bakugan, or old and new. So, I would like to hear your thoughts on the subject. Please leave them in the comments link below. And if you have any suggestions on old versus new retrospectives that I can do on other toys, please leave me your suggestion in the comments. Please subscribe, rate fairly, and I hope you guys have an awesome day. CypherSnake89, logging out.